Welcome to the Heart of the City Regina Downtown podcast series, episode 24. I will be your host, Dominika Denev, Manager of Marketing Communications for Regina Downtown Business Improvement District. During this episode, you'll meet Katie Grunert, General Manager of Metro Pet Market. Keeping it real since 2007, Metro Pet Market is known as Saskatchewan's premier wellness center for dogs and cats, offering a wide selection of food, toys, bedding, accessories, healthcare, supplements, and more. Stay tuned to learn how Metro Pet Market and their team were able to continue to offer its clients and their fur babies the products and services they have grown to know and trust during the pandemic, as well as the new protocols they have put into place to allow for a safe and enjoyable in-person experience. Today, I'm joined by Katie Grunert, the General Manager of Metro Pet Market. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you for having us and for having me.
I'm so excited to chat with you guys. It's been a while since we've kind of gotten together and just kind of talked about how your business has been doing. So this will be great today.
Yeah, be good.
Awesome. So I just want to introduce you guys as Saskatchewan's premier wellness center for dogs and cats. So Katie, what does that mean? What do you guys offer at Metro Pet Market that maybe we can't find at some of the other dog and cat stores?
So you're right. We are a health and wellness center. We're very focused on finding and offering the best and safest options and most species appropriate options for dogs and cats. And that means that we're sourcing things locally when we can. We're sourcing things from Saskatchewan, Canada, and globally, just really looking for the best options in an industry that is flooded with options that are not safe. With very little regulation. We feel both of our locations are a place that people can come and feel confident that the products that they're getting for their pets and the toys and the food and everything they're getting for their pets is safe, and that the pets are going to just absolutely love it.
Well, as a dog owner, I really appreciate that because I can agree the industry is just flooded. Like you never know, right? Like it's like, is this dog food safe? I don't know. And you're trying to read and you don't understand what any of the ingredients even mean. So I truly appreciate the fact of like the hard work and dedication that you're putting in to make sure our little fur babies are safe. So
yeah, you're right. I mean, this industry is full of really good marketing. As a consumer, it's hard to know what's a good product. And also the marketing behind the products can really be confusing and lead you to purchase things that aren't actually safe.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned in your discussion there when you were introducing the business that you have another location. So do you want to let our listeners know where your locations are other than downtown?
Yeah, so of course we have our downtown one on 1637 Victoria Avenue. And then we have a Rochdale location, 3951 Rochdale Boulevard. So it's up in the power center near like the Sobeys and Walmart, and we've got Edo and Walkbox, all as our neighbors. So that one's been open only a couple of years less than the downtown store.
And how long has the downtown store been open?
We've been here since 2007, so it's coming up on our 13th year this year. Yeah.
Awesome.
And you a couple of years after.
And you mentioned you've been with actually Metro Pet Market for quite a few years yourself. I think it was 10 years you said, so almost as long as the business has been open. So
yeah,
definitely the guru over there, right? The general manager, also known as Guru.
Yeah.
So with our discussion today, I know we wanted to kind of touch on where Metro Pet Market had to kind of adapt due to the provincial state of emergency with COVID-19 pandemic. Do we want to kind of elaborate on that right now?
Yeah, so basically when the schools in Regina closed, we closed that same week to the public. So we were still open behind the scenes, taking orders. So we basically kind of went through a couple of phases of kind of development. So we were taking orders online and phoning people back. And it was unfortunately a really kind of not very efficient process. So it took us quite a while to help people that way. But through this process, the owners were actually able to create an online store. So we went from phoning people every day to actually being able to take orders solely online, and able to help a lot more people that way. And we kind of did that all the way through until June when we reopened again to the public. So we actually launched a delivery service through all of this too, which is really lovely. We offer pickup through the whole thing. And then we of course did shipping too.
Well, that's fabulous. So with That's like great. Yeah. You said you started with doing the phone calls, which was, really time consuming, but still, you're trying to get the product to your valid customers. And then you went from there to creating an online store and then offering curbside pickup and delivery. So who do you guys use for delivery? Is it your own employees, or do you use a delivery service?
So we actually, it's one of our vehicles. We have a couple of vehicles that we use for work here. And then it's actually one of the owners and uncles that kind of helped us out. At first, it was us doing the delivery. So myself or one of my coworkers or even the owners have done deliveries just to really be able to do that and do it several times a week. And then we've kind of recruited his aunt and uncle, and his aunt actually makes cookies for us as well. So she's already been a part of what we do, and they were kind enough to help us out in this aspect as well while we were kind of growing and learning.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah,
The whole family's just taking
yeah,
part. Hey, I
it's
love it.
a family thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so with other employees, did you have quite a few employees on the payroll when this happened, or were you just kind of a more kind of family base as you're talking about there with yourself?
So we've always actually been a fairly small group. We have less than a dozen employees, and we actually hired through COVID, which was kind of we thought, I mean, a positive side of things. We were actually able to bring on a really good team member and have more time for training. So she's really a strong team member coming when we were opening the doors. So it's been a few of us kind of keeping things together here, which is kind of how we like to roll, because we're all very knowledgeable at what we do and very dedicated to what we offer to our community as well.
I was just going to say, yeah, it takes a lot of information to understand all of those different products that you offer. And I would say it'd be hard for, a part-time casual person, like one day a week, to learn all that, right? And to have that
Yeah,
knowledge all the time and to get to know your customers. So that's great to
yeah,
hear that you have a really good, solid team and were able to hire. That's amazing. And
yeah.
now you reopened in June. So have
hmm
there been any changes store-wise when people walk into Metro Pet Market that they should be aware of?
Yeah, so there is changes. We have two very small spaces, so we have still limited just how many customers we can have in the door. We are asking people to wear masks if it's possible because of the tight space. We just started letting dogs come back in. We're trying to again minimize it to about 1 to 2 at a time, just again because it's impossible for us not to want to absolutely love a dog that comes in, and just challenging to maintain that physical distance. Our team as well is wearing masks, and that's to help our customers feel comfortable, as well as to protect our small team. Is that I mean, for we are very small, so for us, if even one of our team members is sick, then we pretty much have to close both locations. It becomes very challenging for us to maintain. So we're taking these precautions and cleaning between customers just to really minimize any risk for ourselves and for our clients as well.
And are you still offering the online store and being able to, if someone doesn't feel comfortable to come in, or maybe they're just at capacity, that they could just do curbside pickup and still do deliveries? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's like we've talked about, but um, online was always an option that we wanted to offer because we are a local independent. We have kind of smaller hours than other retailers, so we wanted an option for people who maybe couldn't get in during our hours to be able to get delivery or to have things shipped if they're from out of town. So we have lots of out of town customers as well. So that's always going to be an option. So it's kind of like a really great opportunity that now will be an ongoing option for not only our community, but across Canada. If people want to ship, we have that available, and it will always be an option available. And it's also kind of a nice place for people to learn more about what we offer for products, because that's often questions that we get, and we're in the store helping customers, but if people want to know more about what we offer and don't have time to come in during our hours, they can see the options and watch videos from vets that use the product or know the product or make the product, and get more information. And then we're always here too if they need more guidance on which way to go.
So, with all this information you have, where can our listeners follow Metro Pet Market to take a look at all of this information?
So of course we have our metropetmarket.ca website, and Metro Pet Unleashed is our online store. We do all the Facebook and Instagram social media side of things as well, and that's where we post lots of good information too and fun videos and stuff.
Awesome. And before we end today, is there anything else you just want to talk about in general about your products or anything that maybe is coming in the future that you want to let our listeners know about?
I mean, our goal is always to grow, so we can do more good for our community. We're always looking at ways of supporting our community too. I mean, through all of this, we actually still were donating food to the Humane Society, and we've been working closely with Excalibur while they reopen, so we can make sure we're feeding those kitties. And always looking for more things that we can do to support our local community. And then, I mean, also the customers, we're trying to find ways of growing and expanding so we can support our customers best, and offer them the good stuff that we have, whether they live in Regina or not, as options that they can come get.
And lastly, is there any advice you'd like to give to another small business owner?
Um, I mean, the big thing that we found through all of this, I mean, there's so much change. Every day was a different day when you come to work. It's really important to have a good team behind you. I mean, people who are definitely have a good sense of humor and can kind of roll with the punches. And then having, I mean, giving back to our community and supporting our community and getting that support back was really, really nice to see, because it's always been something that we want to do. I mean, we live in Regina, we want to support our community as much as we can. And it was so nice to see that support back when we made that tough decision to close the doors to the public, to see people willing to adjust as well so that they could still get what we offered, kind of do it in a different way, kind of not the way we normally do, right, coming into a store, but actually still being willing to work with us over the phone or online to figure out how to get what their pets needed.
Well, I'd like to thank you again so much, Katie, for taking the time. I know everyone's quite busy now with being open and having, reduced hours in some cases. So I really appreciate you taking the time coming on here and sharing your story. And I just look forward to seeing what else is to come from you guys.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you and meet you. And as always, it's been great to work with you guys. You've been really supportive through the years.
Thank you. Well, have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, Dominica.